Aloha. Danny D'Angelo, the self-proclaimed king of laundry. Don't let the setting fool you guys. I am not on vacation. Those of you that know me well know that I am not a fan of that word. What does it really mean? What is a vacation? Does that imply you need to get away from real life? Why not live the vacation? To me, the fear is that you're trying to get away from your everyday grind, your day-to-day life. Why do that? Live that vacation. Omit the word. I'm here working. I'm here on the island of Kauai and I'm working for you. It's what I do. You're never going to know if you hire me to negotiate at least what I'm doing, where I'm at. I'll be in Aspen next week. Last week I was in Vegas with my wife, and this week I'm in Hawaii. But why not work? Why not sit by the pool, which I'll be doing later, and making landlord calls? Just closed a lease yesterday in Massachusetts. This morning there was a lease closure in Texas, and who knows what the day will bring. Really, all of this is a mental attitude, isn't it? How you think about your personal life, how you think about your background and where you're going. Personally, I'm scared to death to have a job. Haven't had one since I'm 28 years old. What is job? It stands for just over broke. Don't do it. How? Own the company. Own the company. What truly terrifies me is what other people consider job security. Some smarmy college kid that's going to tell me the ifs and whats and who's and buts. Somebody that's going to tell me when to come and when to go, when to punch a clock. Or maybe you're on salary. Oh, that's so much better. I get X amount of dollars every year. And then what? Next year, waiting for that $1,000 raise or $100,000 raise. It doesn't matter. Last week, I consulted with a neurosurgeon, a brain surgeon. And I'll tell you what, this guy was a ditch digger. It's what he did for a living. He literally told me that he ended up with a broken back at the end of every 12-hour shift. Still a job, still earning someone else money, be it the insurance company or the hospital. No offense to those of you out there that think that I have a great job. I've got a great job. Not me, no thank you. Laundromats are the out. That's the end all be all for me. Having these stores, owning these locations, and then being able to travel when I want, where I want, with my family, making new relationships with folks like you. It's all Laundromats. It's all cash. You hired me to negotiate a lease. You're not going to know where I'm at or what I'm doing. I don't take the time to mention that to you or to lament or complain about my vocation or my location. The truth is, I might be in Maui, I might be in Kauai. Who knows what the background is? But to me, this is the perfect office. This is the type of environment where I want to work, where I want to enjoy my days and nights. None of this is a dream, and it most certainly is not a vacation. Why would you have to get away from real life? I can't tell you how many people that I speak with who say that they like to travel. And then we get a little bit deeper into the conversation, and I ask them, when's the last time you did travel? When was the last time that you found yourself on a beach in Hawaii? Last year? My vacation time? 2 years ago? 5 years ago? They say they enjoy travel, but they like that feeling where they're not at work any longer. Why not live the dream? Why not live the vacation? Take the word out of your vernacular. No longer have that vacation mentality. If you know me well and you communicate with me, you know I don't like to hear that word vacation. Don't use it. No need to get away from real life. This is your real life. This is your office. Why not? I'm going to make some phone calls, get some leases closed, and get you people a little bit closer to this type of lifestyle. I promise. That's the promise and the pledge that I make. If you hire me to negotiate on your behalf, I'm going to work every day until you get that store in your hip pocket and you change your life and your family's life.
I don't know if it's necessarily time or if this store is ripe, but we do see more and more equipment going out of order and wanted to reach out and see if maybe it's time to talk terms.
And your interest would be what?
Okay, so I've been doing laundromats for well over 15 years. I don't purchase the existing business rights. Don't really care what they think they are selling, but I'm not going to buy a laundromat from a failed owner. I also certainly don't want to build them from scratch, as that infrastructure is very costly and difficult to recoup that cost. So what we do is what we're doing now. We have physically scouted Woodwick Drive. Just see a lot of equipment breaking down more and more every month, every year. And my intrigue is to make a phone call, talk to Sean about a potential long-term lease, sign that lease, and pay that rent on time. I retool the stores. I might sound like I talk fast like a salesman, but I'm only selling my goods here, and that is operating these laundromats. You know, we put new equipment in. We operate the stores successfully. It's not rocket surgery. It's not difficult. Contract attendance, 24-hour service, and new equipment, frankly. You know, we're retooling these stores about every 7 years.
Have you kind of looked right down the street, around the corner?
Say that again, I'm sorry?
Have you seen that what's about 2 or 3 blocks away from him?
Yeah, the big mega store that's around the corner, yes.
Yeah. That doesn't bother you?
Well, it depends. Depending on the age of their equipment, what you and I see might look like a brand new store, and that's a card store as well. So what I know of the business, I mean, look, I haven't stepped foot in a laundromat ever my entire adult life. I just operate the stores. And knowing and understanding the differences, a card store, customers despise them. You know, equipment distributors will sell you card-operated laundromats all the live long day. They talk about how wonderful they are for you, the operator. They're not lying. Yep. It's a great benefit to you, the operator. What they will never mention is the actual customer. Consumers hate them. So I can actually be more profitable in a smaller store with 5-year-old equipment than a card-operated brand-new store. But it just depends. It doesn't hurt to have a conversation. Yeah. And if this location goes away, it goes the way of the dodo, that's fine. All boats rise with the tide. My stores will do better. But I would never operate a card store. And, you know, I don't want to cross these stores off the list either. If you say that it's going to go the way of the dodo or that you're trying to charge commensurate rent for a Duane Reade or, you know, a national chain, then more power to you. Stick an AT&T wireless in there and vanilla the space.
Well, I know my guy's having difficulties there. He's got a few years left on his lease. I personally, I don't think I've told him he needed to update his equipment and clean his store. Hasn't done it. I would imagine, I know he's trying at least part of it out, because I told him I was going to come in and take half of that store and find a tenant on the other half.
Right.
Haven't done that yet, but I was hoping to make him realize that there's opportunities.
Right.
But,
well, let me tell you this. I've signed leases contingent on the exit of the current tenant, and that might be the nudge that you need. I want to be crystal clear. I sleep well at night. There's no karma in this for me, because if he doesn't change something, like you've said, you're nudging, you're pushing, it's not on your daily radar. But the very fact that I'm reaching out again and the wings of a butterfly are occurring here, this store won't make me rich. You know, frankly, no one laundromat does. But we can eke out a few dollars and do well by inputting that new equipment in and squeezing it dry and then retooling every 7 years. That's why we do 15-year terms. I'm not end-running existing operators. Like I say, I'm not here to try to push them out. I can't do that. They haven't done what it takes. A lot of times these guys are doctors and lawyers and otherwise intelligent business people. They just don't know how to operate a laundromat. That's okay.
Sure. Yeah.
Let me ask you 2 questions. What's the square footage, and what would be your asking rate on a 15-year term?
All right. What's your give me your phone number first.
Sure. My cell phone is the number I'm calling from.
Yeah, it's 4,800 square feet.
That's huge.
Yeah. I'm in the $8 to $9 range at that location.
Mm-hmm.
If we're
difficult because we've got that tipping point on 4,800 square feet. It's massive and it's not all being utilized.
Well, totally. I would consider taking a part of that and giving you that one part, and I take the other and try to lease that part out.
Okay. Well, we can certainly
And I'm not
look
exact.
at it.
I don't know what that square footage is. I'd have to go out and kind of take a look
Right.
and kind of see what that is. But that was my kind of goal this year is because I just don't think he's going to make it, and I was going to just force myself onto that other side and say, look, I've already reduced his rent for a few months. See if he could get back to where he was, but it doesn't look like it's happening.
Well, this is money over time. It's like anything. We all wish we had our 67 Corvette in the garage, but needed the money at the time. We can,
Yeah.
Why don't I do this? Let me send you an email.
Yep.
Reach back out, and what I will do is put together a letter of intent in regards to approximately half of that space, and maybe we can get this thing done and spend some money, start swinging some hammers. What type of rent abatement could you offer on a 15-year term?
I don't know. I'd have to think about that. Depending on what you're going to do. Yeah.
Well, it's about bringing the customers back. You know, they've all decided to go elsewhere, and it's not a matter of opening the doors.
Yeah. I mean, it's a great location. You're right there where half your customers are probably hanging out with no washer and dryer. So it's a good location.
You don't have to sell me. Sean, let me send you an email. What's the best email address for you? All right, I got it. I'm Danny, as you know, D'Angelo, Jeff Singleton, my partner. This could be the beginning of a beautiful relationship. Let me just hammer out some of the detail and see what the usable space is for us and put everything on paper.
I like it. Sounds like a good idea.
Thanks for your time.
All right.
Talk to you soon.
Call. Look forward to doing some